What I'm going to do is, it's been 10 to 15 minutes since I put the second coat on. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the internal angle trowel on, which I call a twitcher. This is a different one. It's just another one that I've had in the course lying about. So I'm just going to put this one on and show you this one. So I'll put this in internal angle, same again, just to get it all flat and remove all that excess plaster that we've got in. And do that all the way along that internal angle, just to make it nice and sharp. So I've twitched the angle, I've rubber twitched it out, made it all nice and flat. So now I've got my Never trowel, the 14" by 5. I've wet it all down. I've got my brush in my hand, and what I'm going to do, same again, because I'm left-handed, I'm going to do it right to left. I'm going to go back into this corner, and I'm just going to gently brush it, and then I'm going to cut on the dry angle. I'm going to cut the excess plaster off that is actually on that wall, and I'm just going to rub my brush down so it's all nice and flat. Don't need to splash water onto it at this stage, but every now and again there might be the odd dry spot where you don't need to. So same again, brush it down that angle just gently, don't need much water under it. And I'm going to follow the tram line round and bring it back down to where I left off. I'm just doing this at part of the angle all the way down to meet up with the point where I've just left off. And same again with this bit of wood here, it'll be quite dry on that part, so I'll just cut that little bit of plaster off, just to help that, and just rub my brush down a little bit, and that'll just make it nice and smooth. And I'm pulling it into the part what I've already troweled. So just remember, this is your first trowel. Gently brush it if need be, put moisture on if you need to, but try your best not to put any on if you can help it. It just depends on how quickly it's set in. I've got a gas heater in here, so it does get quite warm. It's a lot cold when it first started, but it's obviously got a lot warmer now. I'm trying to keep these training days to an environment that we've been working. You don't want it too hot all the time. You want the temperature fluctuating, just because it's more natural. You're not always going to have a job that's straightforward. You've got warmth. I've worked in properties where they've got no windows, they've got no doors, got no door frames, and winds just been blowing straight in. And it's been freezing, ice cold. Smashing ice off the barrels outside, and that's what it used to be like when I used to work on site. So generally, during domestic jobs, that's not usually something to worry about, but 9 out of 10 times you can guarantee if you're selecting property, heating's going to be on this time of year, it's going to get the plaster set quite quick. If the property's not underneath, obviously it's going to be quite cold. So you just need to get the temperature. It doesn't have to be bang on, but you don't want it too hot or too cold. So all I'm doing is following my around, just same again, from the point of putting it on, putting the plaster on the ceiling or wall, and just working my way around, all the way around, and getting back to the beginning, to start, you know, back to the start point where I first put it on. And you just like rubbing it on, the stuff that comes off your trowel, you sort of like rubbing that into where it's needed, basically. And this bit of wood, same again, cut that bit of excess off, that's, you know, quickly drying out, and just get that off your trowel, rub your brush down, and smooth it off. I'm trying to slow down a little bit on this one, just to give a little bit more detail on how it's done. And, you know, it gives you a little bit more time to help it yourself and learn from it, basically. But what you want is the trowel, you want it to like just glide straight over the plaster, you know, feel smooth. And just make it all nice and neat inside it. And just be very steady with the straw. And that's the ceiling roller. So it doesn't take long really. And the thing is, you've got to do your timings right. If you rush it, if you go over it too fast, you'll end up drying and feel quite rough, but it'll still be smooth, but it'll feel not quite right until you get some paint on it. Until you get some paint on it, and then it's alright. But the best thing to do is just to wait that little bit longer, just to make sure that you know you can cross it and feel smooth, but you don't want it too smooth so that your paint just slides off. That's what you don't want. So round with wall, same again at triangles, just make sure that you brush them parts in. And start from the top and work your way down. And just try and make that line as neat as you possibly can. Put a very little bit of pressure on, but not too much of this trowel. Just really pat onto it. And just bring it to the point where you finish off. A little bit of water on this wall because it's a reskim. It seems to hang for a bit and not set properly. And then even like the boardwork will set, but that'll hang, and then suddenly that'll be alright, and then this wall sets like slowly quite quickly. So you just have to be aware when you're doing boardwork and reskims at the same time. But the bigger you gauge, the more you'll find out, you know, how things can go wrong. But the more experience you've got, the better it will be at handling it all. You know, even if you do lose the wall, there'll be a time when I'm learning and I did lose the wall, but I'll receive it and give up. The best way to put it right is to mix up just that little bit quickly. Just put another coat on just to bring it back to life, and that helps massively. Another thing to bear in mind, just clean the beads off as well. Just make sure they're all clean, this looks better. And this part up here, this is never going to be finished on the, you know, because it's a training day. I don't need to do that part, but obviously if it was someone's house, there'd be another ceiling here, and it'd look all tight. But, so that's your first trowel done. leave it 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to put heater underneath to make it a bit quicker, just to get on with that second trowel. And if it needs a third trowel, then it'll need a third one. If not, we'll just go straight onto the cross. And crossing it is, you don't need any water, but you have to wait for the colour change to happen before you can cross it. Otherwise you'll end up with time marks in it. You can do it wet trowel crossing, but that's entirely up to you if you want to do it that way. It's just, if you've got a lot on, when it changes colour, and you've got a lot of plaster on wall, and you've got a lot of ceilings and walls on, you're better off just dry crossing it when it's all changed colour, and then you don't have to trowel it up again. But all crossing does is just make it smoother and just finishes it off nicely.